Howdy, Huskies. We have day 9. I want to say this at the beginning. Hopefully, you guys are ready to rock and roll. This is a day you need to have your game face on. You need to be paying attention because we're going to go ahead and do systems of equations, which a system of equation to review is when you have basically two or more equations, but the x equals some number and the y equals another number that is consistent throughout the equation. Like x can be 2, y is going to be 3 consistently throughout. So let's do some review and some algebra just to start. So the idea is that you want to get one of the variables isolated by itself. It is the same variable in both equations. So I'm going to go ahead and pick, because this y would be the easiest because of the least amount of fractions, and I'm going to get a negative 2x minus 6. Cool? So the idea then is that I can go ahead and get the same variable over here isolated. So I'm going to go ahead and minus the 4x from both sides. Then we get negative y is equal to 9 minus 4x. And then because it's a negative, I'm going to divide both sides by a negative 1. And I'm going to get negative 9 plus 4x. So since these are both equal to the same y, you can set these parts equal to each other. Because again, those are connected because they're the same number. So that means these right here will be connected. So that's going to be negative 9 plus 4x is equal to negative 2x minus 6. Okay, sports fans, let's solve for x. So plus 2x plus 2x. So I get 9 plus 6x is equal to a negative 6. We'll then add 9 to both sides here. So I'm going to get 6x is equal to 3. Divide both sides by 6. X is going to be 1/2. Now that's awesome, ladies and gentlemen. We are good to go, but now we have to find out what the other part is. So which equation looks easier? So if you go back to the start, this one here in yellow, this one here in blue, again, we want to find out what y is. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's go ahead and plug it into this one, this blue one. You can pick it either, but this way it's just y plus 6 is equal to negative 2x. Well, we know what x is now, so it's y plus 6 is equal to negative 2 times 1/2. So y plus 6 is equal to a negative 1, so y is equal to a negative 7. So our answer is going to be a point, which is x and y, or 1/2 and then negative 7. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because we're just solving these, the idea is that you can write your answer as a point, but what we'll be doing is that we won't be writing them as a point. We're going to be using a lot of the algebra here to back substitute. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this equation, it doesn't look like it's either, or if I look at the pink equation, it doesn't look easy to isolate one of the variables. So let's look at the blue one. This y is by itself. So if I divide both sides by 2, I'm going to go ahead and get negative 2x minus 7 is equal to y. So now I'm going to solve for the y in the other equation. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add 4x. So I get 3y is equal to 4x plus 69. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And I'm going to get y is equal to 4/3 x plus, and that's going to be 23. Okay, so we have our y's that are the same. So that means the other pieces are the same. So I'm going to get 4/3 x plus 23 is equal to negative 2x minus 7. Alrighty, now because I have this fraction right here and I know that's going to be tough, I'm going to multiply everything by that 3, because then it's going to get the fractions to go away. This is called the lowest common multiple trick. So I'm going to get 4x plus, that'll be 69, is equal to a negative 6x minus 21. All right, so let's go ahead and go to town. So we'll add our 6x to solve. So I'm going to get 10x plus 69 is equal to a negative 21. We're going to subtract a 69, and so I get 10x is equal to a negative 90. So x is going to be a negative 9. All right. So which one do we want to plug in to solve for y? You could pick whichever one you want, but I'm going to go ahead and go back to this one right here. You could go back to the original or the ones where your y's are already by itself, and that one looks pretty easy. So y is equal to negative 2x minus 7. So negative 2 of negative 9 minus 7 is going to be 18 minus 7, which is 11. So this will be negative 9, 11. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are our steps to solve. Okay, so a little algebra to review. Okay, before we go ahead and we get started. It was a lot, I get you that, for sure, to get these, but I'd rather start with some algebra than just go gung-ho into it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is that we're going to put some tangents in here, and today is all about tangents. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if I look at this before I even get started, this is one triangle, this is another triangle, and those are going to be the two triangles I'm going to use because I really need to use this 90-degree box right here. Okay, so what you should be in the habit of doing before you really get started is you're going to go ahead and draw two distinct triangles. So my first one here in orange, that's not a right triangle. Let's try again here. So 38, and I know this is 10 because it tells me that so far. And then my other one here is going to be 51, and then this is 10. Cool? Now, what I'm going to try to do is go ahead and find this part x right here, which it looks like if I can just go ahead and focus right on this line segment right here, if it goes A, B, C, then if I find AC, I could then say AB plus BC. Or to find this part, which is what I'm looking for, this X, if I find BC, which is Y, then I can go ahead and say this whole thing here is W. So the whole thing A to C is this is W, and BC here, that's part of this blue or red triangle, that's Y. So really this is going to be W is equal to X plus Y. So we could say that W minus Y is equal to X. So how are we going to go ahead and find that piece of information, W and X? Well, I do have two right triangles, which means I can use my trig functions to find missing sides. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, well, what's W? So W is going to go ahead, and if I look at just that triangle, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. This is the opposite. This is the adjacent. So we'd say tangent of 38, again, going to just this orange triangle, is equal to opposite over adjacent. So to solve for W, so I can plug it in down here, I'm going to put this over 1, cross multiply, so W times tangent 38 is equal to 10. So W is equal to 10 over tangent 38. All right, so I have part of this right here. W is 10 divided by tangent 38. And that's a decimal. Now we just got to find out what Y is. So let's go ahead and use this one. So this is opposite and adjacent. So for this red one down here, I'm going to write in blue, tangent of 51 is equal to 10 over Y. So cross multiply. So Y times tangent of 51 is equal to 10. So Y is going to be 10 divided by the tangent of 51. So minus 10 over the tangent of 51 is equal to X. So see, this is where we're using our substitution. I'm doing some equations over here, and then I'm substituting it in to this part over here, okay? So hence the substitution hence the algebra, making sure we're good to go. Now, the good news is we get to use a calculator to help us out. So if I go ahead and erase this arrow, this is going to be 12.799 in our calculator. And then the next one is going to be 8.098 in our calculator. So then x, and our answer is 4.702. Cool with that? All righty. Sorry, I had to take a drink of my water after that one. But it really comes back to this first part. Draw two distinct triangles. Really help yourself out. And then go ahead and solve and see what you need to do. Notice we had the one triangle here in orange, which was the big triangle. And then we have this other triangle here in blue. And it was both of the triangles that had the 90 degrees, okay? So if I use this triangle here, this overlapping triangle here in pink, then it's this, if I use my linear pair there, that's 139, this is 38. That is not going to be helpful. Okay, that's what's called the law of sines and law of cosines. We're not there yet, so don't do it. All right, so two distinct triangles. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with our two distinct triangles, our first one here is going to be this big one here. So this is 30 degrees, and it says that AB is 15. Okay, so we're looking for BC as it says right here. So I'm going to put an X right here. So notice this whole bottom here is going to be X plus 15. All right, let's look at this smaller one here in green. So 45, and then this is X. All righty, so I'm looking for BC. So I'd want to go ahead and look at just this lovely little green triangle here and go, hey, wait a minute, this is a right triangle. It's a 45-45 right triangle, so these sides are the same. So that means this is X, and this is X root 2. But I don't know what that X is, so I'm not in a spot where I'm helped yet. So I'm going to erase this, but I'm going to say, wait a minute. If this is X, which is this side right here, that's the same X as this side over here. Well, check this out. So now I can go ahead and say, if this is the opposite side, and this whole side here is the adjacent, then tangent of 30 is opposite over adjacent. So put parentheses around your binomial there, and put this over 1. Cross multiply, so 1 times X. Cross multiply here, and this is going to be tangent 30 times X plus 15. So what this means is I'm going to have to distribute this to here and here. So X is equal to X. So if I do the first part here, I'll do this in red. Come on, red. Red pen. There we go. So this would be X times tangent 30. And then the purple one, that'll be plus 15 tangent 30. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I had X is equal to, we'll say 0.557X, hypothetically speaking, plus 6, we would bring this over to that side and solve, right? Well, we're going to do the exact same thing over down here. I'm going to put all my x's together. So minus x times the tangent of 30 from both sides. So over here, this is going to be actually x minus 0.577 x, because that's what tangent of 30 is. So that's going to go ahead and become 0.423x is equal to 15 tangent 30. Alrighty, so then we're going to divide both sides by 0.423, 0.423. And so x is going to be 15 tangent 30 divided by 0.423. And when we plug that into the calculator, we're going to get 17.745. So notice, ladies and gentlemen, we do have some substitution that has to go down. And that's why drawing the two triangles is crucial. Okay? Don't get so crazy about the algebra. If, ladies and gentlemen, once you got to this space right here, notice all the tangent 30s that you have. If you want to erase all those tangent 30s and just put in that 0.557 everywhere, 0.557, and then again, just like we have here, 0.557, all that, you're going to get the same answer. So this would be 0.557, same answer. Okay, so if the tangent's giving you a tough time, get rid of it at the start. All righty. Draw two triangles to start. Hopefully we're noticing the trend. So we have getting ahead of myself. So 55 degrees. And then we are looking for CD. And so this is my X, so I'm going to put my X right there. And then I got my other triangle here, which will be this big one right here. So this is 38, and then this is my X, but notice I got X and then I'm not sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this another variable like Y. So that's where the substitution is going to come in, is that this is now Y plus 6. Alrighty, so we're solving for X. Well, notice that this is my hypo and this is my hypo, and we haven't used our hypo. You don't use it a lot in these type of triangles. It's all about tangent. So for this first one, we're going to say tangent of 55 is going to be opposite over hypo. And then this one right here is going to be tangent of 38 is going to be opposite over hypo. Sorry, opposite over adjacent, not hypo. Now notice, ladies and gents, this is a X and this is an X. So we could isolate those variables and set them equally to each other using the same substitution that we did at the beginning. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to get Y times the tangent of 55 is equal to X. And then here, I'm going to get Y plus 6 times the tangent of 38 is equal to X. So here, notice we have the same X. So because they're the same variable, I'm going to take this part and set it equal to each other. So Y tan 55 is equal to Y plus 6 tangent 38. Now again, if this is a spot where you need to go ahead and put in your decimals, then I suggest that you go ahead and do that right now. If not, I'm going to solve this algebraically and do all my tangents at the end. So I'm going to distribute here, and I'm going to get Y tangent 38 plus 6 tangent 38. And then over here, this is still Y tangent 55. So I need to get all of my Y's on the same side. So I'm going to move this over. So minus Y tangent 38 minus Y tangent 38. So on this side, we're going to get Y tangent 55 minus Y tangent 38 is equal to 6. Get that equals out of the way there. 6 tangent 38. Now again, these are just decimals. Okay, so put those decimals together. Make your life easy. So let's go ahead and put what the tangent of 55 is. So this is going to be 1.428y, and then the tangent of 38 is going to be 0.781y. And then we might as well do that since we're in decimal land anyways. 4.688. So again, if you want to go back to this very start and turn both of those into those tangents respectively into the decimals, feel free to do so, okay? So when I go ahead and I subtract on the left-hand side to give me the answers I want here, I'm going to go ahead and combine my y-like terms to get 0.64, I think that's going to round up to 7, y is equal to 4.688. And so then when I divide both sides, I'm going to get y is equal to 7.247, which is great, but notice we were looking for the x, not the y, because we're looking for CD, which is this side right here. So I have two options. I can go ahead and, just like we did at the beginning, you can go ahead and go all the way back up here and say which equation looked easier. So which of these equations, I'll highlight in blue, look easier? Or you could do these ones over here that are in green. So I'm going to take this bad boy and go all the way into this one because it looks really nice and easy. So y tangent 55 is equal to x. Well, we know what y is. That's 7.247 tangent 55 is equal to x. So x is going to be 10.35. Is our final answer. So lots of algebra, but if you draw two triangles, don't get lost, you're going to be fine. All right, ladies and gents, I want you to try this next one. So I'm going to erase. I apologize. Some weird typos in this example. Just basically find the height. Find the height of your helicopter. So put your X right there. So hit pause, give this a shot, come on back, and see if you got the right answer. All right, sports fans, let's see how you did. So with John in our first triangle, we're going to go ahead and draw this one right here. This is a 55, this is an X, and we're going to need some sort of Y to help us out because Jermaine, which is this big triangle over here, this is Y, this is 46, and it says that they're 10 feet away. So if this is 10, this will be Y plus 10, and this will be the X because it's the same X in both of these. It's this side. That's both this X right here and this X right here. Alrighty, so once again, we don't have any information about the hypo, so we're going to do tangent. So tangent 46 is going to be X over Y plus 10. So we're going to get Y plus 10 tangent 46 is equal to X when I cross multiply. And on this one, it's going to be tan 55 is equal to opposite over adjacent. So this will be Y tangent 55 is equal to X. Well, again, equal to the same X. So let's take our middles and set them equal to each other. So Y plus 10. And then you probably pluck this right in the calculator right off the bat. So this is going to be 1.036 is equal to Y times the tangent of 55 is going to be 1.428. So now the decimals with the tangents out there, it looks a little bit more doable. We'll distribute. So I'm going to get 1.036y plus 10.36 is equal to 1.428y. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it over, bring the y's together. So 10.36 is equal to, got to do this in my calculator here, 3.392 for y. So if we go ahead and do, so y is going to go ahead and give us 26.375. All right, sports fans, we have y. So which x equation are we going to plug him into? So we could do this one right here. this one right here, or these down here. And I think the winner is going to be this simpler one right there. So 26.375, which is the tangent of 55, times times the tangent. Whoa. Hey, stop messing around, tablet. Tangent 55 is going to be x. So throwing that into our calculator, it's going to be 37.667 is our final answer. Cool? So that was a lot, ladies and gents. Give it a shot. Do your best. Definitely come to class with questions. We'll get you unconfuzzled.